Peace and love, y'all. I'm here with the best yoga teacher I've ever had. He totally changed my perspective on breath and my life at large, and I know that his wisdom is gonna blow your mind. My name is Itai, and I post all kinds of yoga stuff on this channel.
Namaste, my name is Ashok. Thank you for the great introduction. Yeah, I'm from South India, Chennai. I'm really happy to be here with Ita. He's a really good person and a really good soul. I'm happy that he's sharing the knowledge, what he realized to you. I'm really happy to be with you, Ita.
Thank you, thank you. So the first thing I want to ask you is a lot of people who are watching these videos, they're curious about yoga, but they've never experienced it for themselves. They maybe heard a lot of noise. So my question is, what misconceptions are there about yoga that are not true that you would like to clear up?
I think instead of we say misconceptions, we can say like we need to put more clarity in this. Because many people think yoga is just physical exercise. Yoga is a sentence which is called as a direct translation union. But it's not a single form. Yoga has been spreaded with different styles, different branches. Meditation is also yoga, pranayama also yoga, asana, what you're practicing also yoga. Like this different branches is everything considered as a yoga. So we cannot just pick only a yoga asana because many people they just think a yoga asana as a yoga. Yeah. So yoga is asana is one of the form and which is helpful for the physical development, and the physical development help to develop your mind. So it's yoga is a union of your own system, I can say. Yeah.
Yes, that's beautifully put. You mentioned something very interesting that I want to ask you more about, which is that the physical postures
Yeah.
don't only influence your body. The physical postures, how do they have a deeper effect on your mind and on the rest of your energies?
According to me, what I believe is so we are working with a body, physical body. So it helps to releases some of the tensions in your body, right? It releases the tension in your muscles, which blocks some of the energies in a spiritual level. So while you're practicing asanas, it helps to stretch out the joints, muscles in a deeper level, fascia, everything. Nervous system, it's influenced with the nerves, everything. So when it releases, there is some reaction happen through this to the mind. So this reaction is the starting point of the change of yoga, I believe. Yeah.
That's a beautiful answer.
Yeah. So while you're practicing yoga, it's not only physical exercise. We are also working on breathing also. So breathing is very important while you're doing asanas. While you're doing any asanas, put in the asanas and start to breathe properly. So while you're breathing properly, then we get the real benefit, I believe.
Bouncing off that, there are many people who say, oh, I would do yoga, but I don't have the body for it. I'm too overweight, I'm too old, I'm too weak, I'm not flexible enough. So, what is one yoga practice that somebody can try no matter what kind of body they have?
It's very simple. According to asanas, just a sun salutation will be enough for them to start. So just pick a easy sun salutation. There are different types of sun salutation. Just we can pick a hatha sun salutation, for example. So just get to know how to do the postures, all the postures which is comes under the sun salutation, and do it properly. And with several rounds, not just one or two. Make it maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just at least 10 minutes per day. That will be fine. It has enough stretches to every day. 10-15 minutes of stretches will be more than enough, I think. Yeah.
I totally agree. And I think it's something that everybody can do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll add that even there are some yoga practices you can do without moving your body, like outside of asana. Like whether you're talking about dharana or pranayama or even pratyahara, like this one that you told me today. Would you be willing to tell the story of how you were introduced to yoga? Maybe a little bit about your childhood and where you're from, what kind of society you grew up in, and how you found yourself in the position you are today.
Actually, I just end up accidentally to yoga. I was a civil engineer. I was working as a civil engineering in government, like under government sector. But at some point, I want to explore something beyond what I'm having. Basically, I want to explore some places, basically. So my uncle, he's one of my uncle in my village. He's a yoga master, Vijay Amarasan. So he was giving teacher training classes and he's a yoga master. He wants someone who can work with him and being working at the same time learning and helping. So I thought, okay, why not me? So I just want to go and just explore the place. At the same time, a little bit explore the yoga also. So I just came to try. I thought maybe we can try. If it's nice, then we can just do regularly. Otherwise, we just like, okay, just explore the place and come back. But it yoga have something I like. When I was started to practice, it was a little bit challenging in the beginning. Then I realized there is something mentally I realized. It makes more peace within myself, more clarity, I can say. In a mental level, it gives more clarity. So I just felt some changes. I don't even know the time what is the changes I'm feeling, just through the asanas only. Then I thought, okay, there is something I feel nice in yoga. So I wanted to continue my journey with the yoga, and it bring a lot of changes in my life until now. So still exploring who are practicing yoga. I think like everybody in some step. Nobody like I like everybody in some step. So I'm in some step, still looking to walk more higher level. Still learning, just sharing whatever I know to the people. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
And how do you think that the world would be a different place if everybody practiced yoga?
That's a really nice question. It's a nice to even think about it because it's all about humanity. Like nowadays, there are so much mental disturbance, like during their family, during their job, even a simple plan create more stress within themselves. Yes, so this stress doesn't allow them to process. Like they feel like more suffering within themselves. While you're practicing yoga, it will help to open up their mind. I think everybody need to feel the changes themselves. There is something beyond the just a day-to-day mentality. There is something higher conscious that have to open. Yeah. So I believe if everybody started to do yoga, I think it brings more peace inside themselves. And once they feel peace inside themselves, they will share peace to the others. So this is what we need, like not hurting each other, just giving, sharing their peace with others. So I think it will be more beautiful, wonderful. I think, yeah,
I totally agree.
yeah.
I totally agree. And you are born and raised in South India.
Yeah.
How do you think that Indian culture is influenced by the ancient history of yoga?
If I say yes, there are some of the cultural bonding between yoga, between the people in yoga. For example, if they go to a temple, they basically do bhakti yoga. They just go to the temple and surrender to the god. Sometimes they just sit and do meditations, just telling at least to the god they have this problem, find out the problems. This is the problem, this is the problem, and they just giving this pressure. Okay, God, you just take care of this. Just giving to the God. This is usually what happen in the temple, but I think people should have more aware of yoga. In even in India, people doesn't have so much aware of yoga. Still, they believe yoga helps to reduce the body weight or belly fat or something like this. Yes, that's true. That's true. It will help. But more than reducing the body weight and reducing the fat, it has something towards the mind. People should understand and work more for their mind. Yeah. So I think still people can understand more what is yoga like. I think they should study. It's a part of the life. It's a like a kind of tool for the life. So I think people like not only the Indian people all over the world, people should a little bit learn. At least they should practice, even they know or they don't know. Just practice. It will do some effect within themselves. Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't matter if you know or don't know, it only matters if you experience.
yeah, yeah. One of the tips what I want to say while you practicing, just don't carry the feelings or don't carry whatever while you go into the mat. Just go to the mat, just 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Just turn off your head, turn off the mind, turn off the thinking process, everything. Just blindly do the asanas nicely and then just do the things. Like not because while you're practicing yoga asanas, it's not only stretching and strengthening our body, right? So while you're practicing, you have to concentrate it, you have to be focused, you have to be create the peace inside. So in the peace, the meditation, the level of meditation should be maintained within themselves. So while they're practicing, they should meditate a little bit, not thinking about what I gonna cook, what I gonna do, what is my plan. So that's, of course, it's while you're practicing asanas, it can help for the body, but we have to work on the mind also. While you're practicing, the meditation also should happen. So what are we doing? How the concentration muscles, whether you put pressure or tension in the joints or muscles, just how the breathing is and how the mind works. Just better not to think about anything, just being silent and observe what happening, something like this. Yeah.
So you mentioned a little bit ago that the form of yoga that's most alive in India today is the Bhakti yoga. For those who don't know, who are listening, can you explain the difference between Bhakti yoga, Kriya yoga, Gyan yoga, and Karma yoga, the different paths of yoga?
Basically, Bhakti yoga is the yoga which is surrender to the God. So while they believe in the God, they believe God can take care of them. So they have a power like, okay, God can take care of me. So if they have something, they always put the stress into the God. So they believe God will help them. And like it's a simple explanation, but there are many process. In the temple, they do a lot of rituals. There are so many process, like mantras are there, some havanas, some something. So everything involved in the bhakti yoga. Yeah, Kriya Yoga, like when we talk about Kriya Yoga is a cleansing process. Basically, it helps to cleansing. I'm not so into Kriya Yoga. I like to explain about Ashtanga Yoga, which is because Kriya Yoga is another style which I also want to explore more with the Kriya Yoga. It's more about a cleansing process, cleansing the nadis, cleansing the body. Yeah, this is the energy channel which the energy passes through, cleansing the thoughts. Yeah, so clearing the consciousness. So it's a cleansing. So it involves with some type of breathing techniques, asanas, mantras. So everything involves in it. Yeah, while we're talking about Ashtanga Yoga, I'm teaching Ashtanga Vinyasa, so it's familiar to me.
Yeah.
So while you're practicing Ashtanga Vinyasa, it's a set of sequence. Basically, Ashtanga, then it's like a sequence of asana. So people used to just follow the sequence of asanas. It involves with the 8 limbs. Ashtanga Yoga, Ashta means 8, Anga means limbs. 8 limbs involved in the yoga practice, basically. Yamas and yamas. So these are the, I think you already know, yamas, niyamas, asanas, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So this everything involved while we're practicing. When you're practicing asanas involved, so the meditation should involve the pratyahara, which is withdraw the sense. So while you, there is a sense, there is a sound around. So awareness, while we're talking about withdraw the sense, if you particularly thinking about something, then your awareness is attached with it, right? So, for example, while you're practicing asanas, there is a dog barking outside. So you only hearing about the dog, and maybe you thinking about the dog, or you may be a little bit irritated about the dog because your full awareness is on the sound of the dog. So when you're talking about pratyahara, it's bringing the awareness to yourself, within yourself. So while you're making serious conversations, it can be the same. For example, if you having a serious conversation, if there is a dog barking outside, you don't really get irritated or you don't even hear it, but the sound is there. But you don't really hear the dog because you are involved with your awareness is involved within ourselves. So your awareness is turned here, not there, like this. So how to control the awareness, right? So it's involved in the practice. So you have to like a control and bringing the awareness within yourself. So even if you smell something or see something, not get distracted. So you have to be really concentrated within yourself. So that's involved in the practice. Yeah. So meditation should involve in the practice while you're practicing, not thinking about, as I said before, not thinking about something. So yeah, everything comes under this. So that's Ashtanga Vinyasa. Yeah.
Beautiful. So no matter what your path of yoga is, it all comes under this umbrella of awareness.
Yes. There are it's like a branch. Yoga is like a branch. There are so many techniques, so many roots, but eventually the tree is one and the fruit is one.
Yes.
Yeah. We can, whichever the style you prefer to practice, you can go, which is, for example, some people are like a more energetic people. They really like to practice Ashtanga. So they feel very good and they feel Ashtanga helps them. So in this case, they can practice Ashtanga. Some people, they are like a little bit calm. They feel Ashtanga is too much for them. So in this case, they can practice in yoga if they like, or Hatha yoga if they like. So whatever the style they prefer, which make them calm, peace, and it feels them, yeah, it is working for them. Yeah. So if they think it is work, then just choose it and just follow it. And yeah, it will definitely lead them towards the peace, you can say. Yeah.
Amazing. So the last thing I wanted to ask you about is that you recently went to the Maha Kumbh Mela
Yeah.
for 3 days and you were staying with some sadhus over there,
Yeah.
which sounds like an amazing experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
So I'm wondering if you can tell not only a little bit about the festival itself, the significance of it, but who are these sadhus, these full-time yogis, these advanced practitioners, and what can we learn from them? And if you have any stories of crazy experiences you had with these sadhus.
I'm still exploring about the sadhus, but this 3 days was really beautiful. I was really thankful to my teacher, and he was really helpful to give me so many solutions for my questions. And he is always being like my brother. His name is Shivji. He's under the he's under going under the practice to be a sadhu. I was being almost with him the whole time. Basically, sadhus are not really attached with anything. They don't have any attachments with the family or with anything. They are totally like open-minded people, and they don't really care about anything. They just live their life, and they goes through difficult practices. Yeah, they do padayatra. Padayatra is, I can say, like a kind of pilgrimage for several months, and then they stayed in the Himalayas. Usually, we don't see them. It was really nice during this Maha Kumbh Mela, like a lot of sadhus gathering in a one place, but usually we don't see any of them. Mostly they were in some forest in a Himalayan region. They are like hidden people. What I felt is freedom. I felt like total freedom. When we were discussing with sadhus, actually we don't even see the timing, because like when we had a conversation, I had a conversation with we were talking about everything. So when I was talking with him, he said like all the everything is created by the people, and then we see the clock, it's 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. Then suddenly we get stressed. It's almost 1 a.m. now, I should go to bed. Right now I should be in a bed. Now even this thought create the stress, right? So what if we don't know what is time? It's dark. Like we know this, like it is dark, and we know this time should be sleep. But we don't get stressed about this is 1 o'clock. I should sleep in 1 o'clock. I should sleep in 2 o'clock. I should sleep in 10 o'clock. If 10 o'clock, then it creates some stress. I should go to sleep, something like this. So there we just keep talking. We don't use mobile phones. We don't use the watch, and I don't know what is the time. We were talking the whole night. Suddenly, there was a guy who's staying in the camp. He just came out and he said, "It's 4 a.m. You are still there." Because before he go to sleep, he just saw in the same place. He saw us in the same place. He went to sleep and he came out at 4 o'clock. Then we realized, it's 4 o'clock already. So yeah, everything like yeah, we have rules, we have ideas. We should do that. If we don't do that, then it creates stress within ourselves. He gave me so many realizations in this time. So don't be attached with the things. Don't get stressed about things. It's just happening. Just let it happen. So if your body want to sleep, let it sleep. If your body want to eat, let it eat. If it's like a cycle, your body knows what to do. Yeah. So this kind of nice conversations. It was nice to have these conversations with the sadhus. Yeah.
It sounds so amazing. This time that you spent away from time.
Yeah.
What an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And we have to thank the Maha Mela for providing a context
Yeah.
where you can have a society outside of society, where people are just there in order to connect with each other
Yeah.
and to connect with yoga.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and people believe that the place itself clear their mind, like it's clear their energy. If they get a dip in Ganga, it clear their karma. So even they believe this. So they come and they do these rituals. So this belief itself giving them hope and giving them some energy. So yeah, belief it's also the part of spirituality to make a mental, how to say, mental clarity. Yeah.
Faith is everything.
Faith, yeah, yeah.
Because your thoughts create the reality.
Yes.
If you believe one thing, it will happen.
Yeah.
And yes, there is this planetary alignment that charges the Ganga with special prana.
Yeah.
And that's why people come for the Maha Mela once every 144 years. But really, you can believe in anything.
Yeah.
You can believe that this tree is going to cleanse your karma
Yeah.
and give it a big hug and have a great rest of your life.
Yeah.
So it's so amazing hearing what the sadhu said about how these are all stories that humans tell. These are all constructions
Yeah.
that we choose to believe. Sometimes it's good to believe them. Sometimes it's good to make a belief of your own and not just believe something because others believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Believe it because it's what is true in your heart.
Yeah. It's very important to follow something. So you can believe, but make sure that the belief is truth under dharma, truthfulness. We should not just blindly believe things because there are so many fake faith. So it can easily, it can easily make it fake. So it's really important to the people. If you follow someone, if they give some ideas, it's really important to experience. And if they believe this is true, then follow it. If you feel it's not true, then just follow your own heart.
Yes.
Own heart. Don't just blindly believe everything. Yeah, that's absolutely the thing.
So many religions of this world, people get focused on the rules and they forget about the faith.
Yes, yes.
It's so true what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially the religious. While you're following religious, we have to be a little bit like conscious about what we believing and what we are following.
Discover it for yourself. Don't just believe it because someone else said it.
Yeah.
And it brings it all back around to yoga, because yoga is not a belief. Yoga is an experience.
Yes.
Of course, you can learn yoga philosophy and things like this, but it won't mean anything to you until you do the asana, do the pranayama, do the meditation, and see what it does to you.
Yeah.
This is something that nobody can teach you.
Yeah,
Only
it's-
something you can experience.
It's not the belief, it's the process.
Yes.
And it's the effect that getting from the process.
Yes.
So it's important to feel the effect. And yeah.
So many times when I'm teaching, I find myself saying, if you don't believe me, try it for yourself.
Yes.
Because there's no reason to convince somebody when they can just go try it themselves and see through experience. That's what we all deserve in this life, is experience.
Yeah.
Rather than hearing a story that we take into our heart.
Yeah. And during the practice, it cannot just happen in 1 or 2 days. It will happen. It takes time.
Patience too.
Yeah, patience. Patience is really important in yoga. In everything, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
And thank you for taking the patience to have this conversation with me. I really appreciate
I'm
it.
happy. I'm happy to be with you to share something.
I've learned so much from you, seriously. You taught me everything I know about breathwork, about Ashtanga itself, and I'm so happy that we got to meet each other. For those watching, I came to Mysore about 2 weeks ago to study Ashtanga, and I was walking in a cafe. I hadn't seen Ashok in a year since we were in Nepal. Now we're in South India, very far away. And I just turned around and I saw Ashok in the cafe. And it was like the universe was winking at us, giving us a chance at serendipity, divine connection. And what a blessing it was.
Yeah, it was really great to see you and spend some days with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're here in Wayanad in Kerala, exploring the Western Ghats. Beautiful nature in India. We just went on a walk to a lake and we saw a giant Indian squirrel
Yeah, it
up
was
in
so
the
cool.
tree. Yeah. So, for everyone watching who wants to study with you, who wants to take some online lessons with you, or even just connect, where can they find you and what are you offering?
I'm offering Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Hatha led classes. If they want to have some private sessions, they can also get a private sessions. They can contact me through my Instagram. So if you check Ashok Yoga, you will find it. My name is Ashok Kumar. We can have some conversations, discussions. So yeah, if you want to contact me, you can always contact me in Ashok Yoga in Instagram.
And I will link that below. And he's a really amazing teacher. I really encourage everyone watching to go take classes with this man because it will totally change your perspective on life. And leave a comment below. Let me know what Ashok mentioned in this discussion that totally blew your mind that you didn't know before. And just say some kind words to this man, because doesn't he deserve it?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ashok. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
We'll catch y'all next time. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Amazing.